Hello.
Hi, welcome to Kandaki Aikula's Kitchen Laboratory.
Oh. And so we want to make our first symptom meal. Where do we start?
Oh, well, once you enter the laboratory, the first thing you must do is wash your hands. Mm. Yeah, it's very important. I think one of the things I loved about this last few years in the history was that we had to remember how to wash our hands. It was a thing, and they said like 3 minutes you had to be under the water and washing your hands. As long as we have the soap and we have some warm water, we're good. And that's
Okay.
how we start.
And then how do we prepare our our tabletops here?
Um,
Do you wipe it down with vinegar? Do you
yeah,
use
you can use the vinegar wash that everybody has made because it makes it really simple. I'm not having any today, but you can any kind of spray bottle. I just even use a spray bottle for my soap, right? So just a spray bottle, and you got your cloth, your regular kitchen cloth, and you just wipe down everything, and then give it a little bit of a rinse, and kind of way to go. And that's how you start everything. Anytime you're gonna cook, you want to make something to do in the kitchen. You always want to clean down all surfaces. You also want to sweep the floor because things fall on the floor all the time. Wash the floor. Make sure that it's all clean because you want to have the whole space ready to do anything. It's magic you're going to be cooking and making.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start with breakfast. What would be a good suggestion or some suggestions that we could have for breakfast?
Well, there's quite a few. We have a kind of an original symptometry approved general meal plan. It's a little, I don't know if they still have it, but I'm sure it's a timeless thing. There's some things on this list that aren't kind of on the list anymore, so we'll have to be really careful when we're looking at it. But right off the top, it says like today is Thursday, right? So Thursday it says farina with stevia. Avoid milk if batting, cancer, use water. Aha. So they're telling you right off the top. Farina is kind of a cassava meal that they make, but because they make it with a certain type of milk, and you put a little bit of salt and a little bit of agave, you make a chemistry, and so the chemistry helps to neutralize the poison in the farina that we have. So everything is about chemistry here. So we want to know why certain things are going to blend together or work together because certain things are doing different things to support each other. So then it says for Friday, you can have the green onions and a nice sandwich with some turkey, sausage. That's fine. Right? We cook. Everything's going to be cooked, so we give it a nice little saute with some green seasoning. Right? Of course, I don't know if we made some before, but we have to have. We can't live without our Kandaki's green seasoning. Right? That's the special gold, the green gold.
Yes.
And that's what we put in everything. So we saute it, give it a little bit of a heat up, right? 15 minutes always when you're cooking something, no less than 15 minutes. But some things take a lot longer if you're going to make collard greens or things like that. So you don't hesitate to. You don't necessarily have only breakfast kind of thing. So you want to start. Actually, I think I missed one step, which was the water. The water I was drinking in the cup. That was my reminder. So we always want to start first thing in the morning. We drink 1 liter of water right off the top. Right? We have filtered water, boiled water, which I usually do. I might filter it still, but I still boil it. And we always want to do warm or hot water. So if you have hot water, you're just going to sip it. If it's warm water, you drink it. So we start with 1 liter of water. And then we drink another liter maybe by lunchtime after we've had our morning breakfast and things like that. It's really important that we have those 2 liters of water. I know that people have a long list of how much water people should drink. But we learned that we only need at least 2 liters of water. 1 early right off the top to flush out the system, and then 1 midday. And if, of course, in the evening you're thirsty or anything throughout the day, of course, be sipping on some water when you can. But we don't want to overdo water, right? We want it to be natural, feel confident, and let the salivation glands tell us when to drink. Yeah.
Okay. And so how far in advance do I need to prep the stuff that I'll be making for breakfast?
Well, that's a really good question because we're always about meal plan and we're always about advanced work ahead because one time we need it, it'll be ready. So we have to prepare in advance. So maybe the day before you might look before you go to bed and say, okay, tomorrow I'm going on a trip. I'm going to be home at this time in the morning. So you kind of schedule your day and you have an idea. Because what's really special in our life is we use a lot of slow cook, right? We slow cook a lot of meat for different reasons, different kinds of meat, and or at least 2 hours. So we may cook some things most of the time around 2 to 2.5 hours. So you're going to need to have a little extra time to be able to fulfill that. So your meal plan is really important. What am I going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Is it going to be the same thing? We change the proteins every 6 hours. So, are we going to have the whole protein one day, this whole day is going to be protein, one particular protein, or are we going to break it up and then by lunchtime I'm going to have a different protein, or by dinner time I'll have a different protein? So these kinds of things are important to plan in advance, yeah.
So what's your go-to proteins for breakfast?
Well, I really love turkey sausage or turkey bacon. That tends to be what it is. You can buy smoked turkey. It's frozen. You just take it out the night before so it's thawed. And you're going to saute it up with some green peppers and some, of course, always some white onions, right? I always have to cook with white onions. Okay, we don't eat them, but we make sure that we cook with them. As you can see, the onion is here. It's inside the pot. But, it's there, but we're not going to eat it. So, it's very important. We're just making a little bit of yam and sweet potato fries with a little bit of plantain fries. And it's getting good.
Nice. So it looks like I'm going to have to get some more ingredients because I need to get some turkey sausage and some other stuff that you mentioned for the
don't
breakfast.
Forget that bread, right? We use only baguette, or we call it French bread. And, French people only eat bread today. They don't eat bread tomorrow, generally. I mean, bread is a kind of a thing. Like for us, after 3 days, it's 30,000 enzymes. It may be only a couple hundred or 1,000 or so enzymes. I can't remember exactly, check the book, for today. But by the time it's day 3, it's 30 to 35,000 enzymes. So it's really important that we prepare to have the bread in advance so that we know how much bread we're going to eat in the next 3 days. So if I'm going to get a loaf of bread, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to eat it within 3 days, and or I'm going to make like a fat bread or something that I'm going to eat today, so that I don't have to worry about bread for tomorrow. So it depends on how you're planning. Yeah, the meal plan is really always thinking in advance. Right, we do advanced family planning. Very important to prepare yourself as a parent before you have children, before you're thinking ahead of what you would like your family to be and the things that you want to endeavor with yourself, and hopefully your children will have the inkling to do all the things that they want to do as well. So we want to have genius people. So we're going to learn about how to have a true, what is it called, a true genius. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with this right now, with this information now, and try to make some nice sympto breakfasts, and then I'll check back in with you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.